Hey, welcome once again to the creative writing course. I hope you've enjoyed the previous videos. If you've not watched them, please go and watch them. We talk about writing, we talk about the philosophy of writing, and there are a lot you can learn on this channel as far as creative writing is concerned. This particular course purely on creative writing. Today we want to look at exactly what creative writing is. So please stick with me, subscribe to the channel, share the link, make sure you are part of this class. And there are questions you would answer. If you want to take the exams that I'll be giving, you have the opportunity to take them and I'll mark it and send it to you. But let's go straight into creative writing. What exactly is creative writing? What do we mean when we say creative writing? My name is BIC Abeku Okai, and I want you to subscribe to this channel. So we are looking at the art of creative writing. I have my notes here, so I will be looking at my note to be sharing with you the things that I've put down on this topic. So let's go right into it. The art of creative writing. Creative writing has to do with helping you to unlock the power of your imagination, okay, and self-expression. You'll notice that in this video, I'll be talking more about imagination. I'll be talking more about creativity because as the name sounds, creative writing, it's all about being creative. It's all about being yourself. It's all about imagining your own world and bringing it to life. So if you're a creative writer, you are a world creator. So when we say creative writing, what is it? I'm going to read to you. Creative writing is a form of writing that emphasizes originality, imagination, and self-expression. I pick that again. Creative writing is a form of writing that emphasizes originality, imagination, and self-expression. When we talk about creative writing, we are talking about basically imagination. We are talking about creativity. We are talking about self-expression, being yourself and bringing out what is in you. That is what we mean by creative writing. Being imaginative, expressing yourself, being original. Unlike more rigid forms of writing, such as technical or academic writing, creative writing allows the author to explore ideas, emotions, and narrative in a more fluid and personal way. So when we talk about creative writing, we are talking about being original. We are talking about using your imagination to come out with something. We are talking about being able to express yourself. So if you want to be a creative writer, it means that you want to express yourself freely. It also means that you want to come out with something that is original with you. It is not from anybody. You are the one bringing it out of you. It also means that you want to explore your own imagination and then release that imagination to the world. This is different from other forms of writings which are rigid, which follow a particular structure, such as academic writing or technical writing. In creative writing, the author is able to explore himself, his own ideas in creative writing. The author is able to go into his or her own emotion and then bring out whatever he or she is feeling. That is what we do in creative writing. In creative writing, there is fluidity in narrative. Whatever you are writing, whatever story you are telling, you tell it smoothly. So if you want to be a creative writer, it means that you explore your idea. It means that you come out with what is in you and express your own emotion, your own way. It means that you flow freely in whatever you want to write or you're writing. So if you want to flow freely, if you want to be original, creative writing is the best way to go. Now let's look at the originality of creative writing. Number one, creative writing allows you to express your unique voice and ideas in a creative way. If you are into creative writing, you will notice that creative writing allows you to express yourself in your own voice, in your own unique way. It is all about how creatively you can bring out your own idea, how creatively you can tell your story, how creatively you can communicate. There is no boundary as far as creative writing is concerned. Again, creative writing can be a therapeutic outlet, helping you to process emotions and experiences. One of the advantages of creative writing is that it helps you to release your emotion. If you are in love, for example, creative writing helps you to express your love. That is why we write love poems, love music, and then love stories and stuff, because creative writing deals a lot with emotions and allow people to express their emotions. If you are sad, you can use creative writing to express yourself, bring out that sorrow that is in you. If you are angry about a situation, maybe about the nation, what is happening in your country, you don't like it, you can use creative writing to express it in a beautiful and in a way that brings exactly what you're feeling. So creative writing explores emotions. It helps you to express your emotion, to release your emotion, and by so doing, it helps authors to heal themselves. Yes, so whatever pain and challenge you are going through, if you learn to write creatively, you will be able to release yourself. If you are happy, you will be able to release yourself. It is just a healing power for anybody. So you can be a creative writer and build a kind of world where you enjoy yourself. Maybe going through a particular challenge, you want to keep it down. You want that record to be there. What do? Take your pen and paper, write something and write freely. I'll be teaching you how to write. So please follow this course carefully, because you are going to learn practically how to write. Another advantage of creative writing, it helps you to release your imagination and then your creativity without boundary. Yeah, I'm talking about boundaries, not just imagination and creativity, but here you are limitless. You can go at length and say whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, except that of course it must be ethical. It must be, you can't just write anything that is not morally accurate, but you have the freedom to imagine your own world, imagine your own life, imagine anything, and then just put it down for other people to see. So creative writing takes away every boundary and gives you the freedom to flow. Another advantage of creative writing is that it fosters a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction through the creation of original work. It fosters a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction through the creation of original work. When you are into creative writing, you come out with your originality. What you want to present to the world is not what somebody has done. A creative writer does his or her own thing. It doesn't do what somebody has done. Even if you're doing what somebody have done, you do it in an innovative way, in a nice way, in a way that brings out your own creativity. And because of that, when you write, you engage in creative writing, you have a sense of pride and joy, sense of accomplishment. So it brings you a joy that, you always feel proud. I'm so proud when I see people reading my books, when I see people reading my works. I feel so proud. I love, I enjoy the praise, to be very honest. I enjoy the good, reviews that I get concerning my books. And that is why I keep writing. I remember somebody called me. He read my book, Kwansma. It's a novel. After reading it, he called me and said, please, when are you writing the next book? And I asked why. He said in life he has completed only 2 books, and mine is the second one he's read, to the end. And the reason is that he just could not put it down. He wants to read more from me. So when I get such reviews, I feel so proud, and I want to write more. I'm writing a book. The title is In the Chest of Politics. And one of those who reviewed the book called me, and come on, he looked at me and said, you've written something so amazing. It looks so real. It looks so natural. Meanwhile, everything is purely imagination. There is nothing true in it. It is fiction. But I feel so proud to have done that. So when you are into creative writing, you actually have a sense of pride and accomplishment. But then let's look at the downside of creative writing. There is always a limitation to everything on earth. And when it comes to creative writing, the downside is that, number one, creative writing can be challenging, requiring time and effort to develop a coherent narrative. Now, creative writing can be very, very challenging. It requires time and effort to develop coherent narrative. If you are telling a story and the story you are imagining the story must, be real. It must link up, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort for you to do that. Sometimes you go forward, you come backward. Sometimes you have to remove certain things and put certain things in. I mean, it's not easy to get things to look so real, surreal, that when people are reading, it's like they are reading an actual thing that happened. So the downside is that it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. So if you want to go into creative writing, you enjoy it, but you should know that that is the downside, another downside of it. The next downside we'll look at is the creative process may lead to writer's block or periods of self-doubt, hindering progress. The creative process may lead to writer's block or periods of self-doubt, hindering progress. There is something called writer's block, where as a writer your ideas are not flowing again, your thoughts are not flowing again, and then you feel bored. You don't have even, you are not in the mood to write again. The inspiration to write is not there. When you come to that point, it's very challenging and difficult, especially since you have to use your imagination to create what you are writing. It becomes very challenging. So that is another downside of creative writing, where there is no inspiration to write, ideas are not flowing, and you are just blocked on the way. It's also a downside to creative writing. The next thing we look at in creative writing is that that is the next limitation. There is subjective nature to creative writing, making it difficult to receive universal recognition. Creative writing falls under that challenge where people judge the work subjectively, and they reject it. There are people who can reject it. They may just not show any interest in it. But don't worry if somebody doesn't show interest in your work. Another person will show interest in your work. You cannot satisfy everybody, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. The last one we'll look at this topic is commercial success in creative writing can be unpredictable and competitive. The fact is that creative writing may not guarantee you instant success. It may not guarantee you much money. It may not guarantee you maybe much that you expect. But write because you love to write. However, there are a lot of people who have made good money, who have made great successes by the books they wrote. A lot of them. I mean, there were a lot of African writers. When we mention them, you know them, like Chinua Achebe, for example, a highly successful author, Amate Du, and many others that I can mention. I believe you will be one of the most successful the world has seen. So trust your imagination, go all out, do what you have to do. The success may not come today, but you can have it tomorrow. So don't give up. These are the limitations, but don't worry, you can still succeed with it. So start writing now.